I'm showing you how to get Wurst Client for Minecraft 1.21.1. So to get Wurst Client, you want to head over to our official website, wurstclient.net, which is going to be linked down in the description below, together actually with my Discord server, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you could join that. Anyways, right on this page over here, you want to simply scroll down until you find the downloads area. You're going to find the version Minecraft 1.21.1, which is the exact one you want. You want to click on this black download button, and that's going to download Wurst Client. And you also want to click on this white button next to that, and that's going to download the Fabric API, which is something you need. Now, judging by the fact that you had to download the Fabric API, it should be kind of obvious that you do actually need Fabric to run Wurst Client. If you don't have it or you're not sure where to get it, then I will link this down in the description below. Anyways, once you have Fabric API and Wurst Client in your downloads, or anywhere else of course, you can press on Windows and R at the same time, then type in app data, just like so, and then hit enter or OK. That's going to open up this folder right over here. Once you're here, you want to open up the folder called roaming, then .minecraft, and then you might need to scroll a little until you find the mods folder. You can open up that folder just like so, and then simply drag both the Fabric API and Wurst Client inside. Once you've done that, you can close up both of these, open up the Minecraft launcher, and launch Fabric 1.21.1 after of course understanding the risks of playing modded Minecraft. So I have now loaded into Minecraft, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can use Wurst Client. Well, briefly that is, if you want a full in-depth tutorial that'll explain you literally everything, then I will link that down in the description below. For right now, I'm just going to show you how you can get started using this client. Trust me, it isn't that difficult. Anyways, to get started, simply press on right shift, and that is going to open up this Click GUI. You can close out of this by pressing on escape. Now, you can also use the right control button, and that is going to open up this alternative Click GUI. Both of these have the exact same options, just a completely different layout, as you can see. For Wurst Client, I prefer this one, so that's the one I'm going to be showing in this tutorial. Anyways, basically all the things you see over here are all the utilities that this client has. You can click on them just like so to turn them on, and click on them once again to turn them off. You can click on this little green arrow, and that's going to open up a customization menu. As you can see, this one is rather large, and it contains a bunch of customization options specific to this utility. You can also enable it right through down there. You can close out of that and see that all of these have a unique customization menu. If you're not sure what the specific utility does, you can simply hover over it and it'll give you a brief description, and you can search for anything you'd like to through the bar up top right there. Anyways, for all these utilities, using them should be pretty self-explanatory, and you'll also discover how to as you go. Anyways, scrolling down, you'll see that eventually you find a part where all of the utilities start with dots. That's because these aren't regular utilities, but they're commands, because that's also something that Wurst Client supports. So similar how to in vanilla Minecraft, you would for example type /give as a command, all of the Wurst Client commands start with not a slash, but a dot, as you can see over here. If you're not sure what these commands do, you can once again simply hover above them, and it'll also give you the syntax of how to use them. If you're still not sure, you can actually open up this menu over here, and it'll give you a little more information. To use these commands, you can simply open up the chat, type in dot, and then any command that you want to, and then just however you want to use it, of course. If you're still not sure, I can just type .bind in chat over here, and then it'll tell me the entire syntax of how to use this command, as well as exactly what this command can get me, which of course is really useful. Sadly, the commands for this client don't have autofill, but you know, you can't have everything, right? Anyways, opening this menu back up, scrolling past the commands this time, you'll see that you once again enter into a different section, still organized alphabetically, but restarting. Basically, all these things down here aren't the utilities that this client has, but more quality of life type things that you can manage. As you can see, you can view stuff like the change log, you can turn on certain UI elements, like the logo, or actually turn them off if you want to. You have zoom down here, which I know a bunch of people use, and you can manage your keybinds as well. Anyways, in this area, this actually used to contain X-ray. It doesn't anymore, and it's been moved up to this area right here. If you want to use X-ray, you can actually also use the .xray command. Anyways, that's basically it for that clicked UI. Once again, with this one, you can achieve the exact same things, just with a different user interface. Anyways, pressing on escape is going to open up this menu, which that's obvious, but you have a worst options area here. Basically, it'll allow you to access the keybinds manager, the X-ray manager, as well as the zoom manager, as well as Wurst Client official links and some other settings. I can close out of this, and now there is actually one more thing. We can go right down here, and there is also one option down here that I just want to give some extra attention to. That is the tab GUI right over here. We can open this up and it'll give you the information. And click on this and then turn it on just like so. That is going to add that thing in the top left hand side of my screen. Basically, this works the exact same as this menu and as this menu, except that you can move whilst it's on your screen and you navigate it using the arrow keys on your keyboard, which personally, I don't really use this, but some of you might. Also, really, one last thing. As for keybinds, which I showed you a tiny bit of with the .bind command, but basically, of course, keybinds are a really big part of any client. For Wurst Client, you can simply use the .bind command to set them, or you can actually enter into these customization menus, and almost all of them will allow you to set a keybind for the specific utility, as you can see by simply clicking on the plus. Anyways, basically, that was that for right now. Remember that the in-depth tutorial on this is going to be linked down in the description below for those of you who want it. But for right now, thank you ever so much for watching, and I do of course hope to see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.